everyone. My name is Sharika Wilson, and I'm the project manager at the Caribbean School of Data. Now, if you're new here, CSOD is an initiative of the Mona School of Business and Management. We offer digital skills and data fundamental training to participants not just in Jamaica, but across the Caribbean region. We're not a brick and mortar school, so we offer virtual training typically. And what we're really focused on is bringing digital skills and data skills to our participants. So when you look at our vision is to reduce data poverty across the Caribbean. We want to be better at how, as a region, we collect data, we share data, we use data. And most recently, we partnered with Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team to offer training on how to use, collect, and work with geospatial data. So Camille was a participant in our geomapping training program. And Camille and her group recently won a grant to put their project into fruition. So Camille, climate resilience advocates, right? Tell us a little bit more about that.
In our community, we have been having a challenge with flooding. So one of the things that we decided to do was identify areas in the community that is highly affected by flooding whenever it rains. So that persons who don't live in Jamaica or don't live in Clarendon would be able to get out just in case it begins to rain.
And this is helpful for us because when there's rain, flooding especially, we need to know the areas where we're going to have flooding so we can try and deal with the garbage before. So we need to know what is happening in flood-prone areas so we can get everything sorted out in as short a time as possible.
So now an overview of Maypen. You know, Maypen is the largest town in Clarendon, and some of the impacts that flooding have on the community, you know, persons would be displaced, agriculture for the farmers, most of them would have lost crops, livestock, and all of that.
Yes, because I heard persons say that Maypen do flood easily, but I've never experienced or seen it for myself.
On Saturday, when we didn't have much rain, it did flood in Guinea Tree. And that is because a lot of the buildings on coming down to Guinea Tree, a lot of that is built on what was sinkholes before. And the water comes down from the hills, comes straight through, goes on the Sagiford bank. You pass Sagiford bank, when it rains a lot, you'll see water bubbling up through the manholes. It doesn't take a lot of rain for Guinea Tree to flood.
With the geospatial data, the misconception is that maps only show like roads or buildings or whatever. But as you can see with the maps that you have in your hands, those are showing a specific thing. It is visualizing a phenomenon or an event. So geospatial data uses the usual, the buildings, the roads, all of that, and it tells a story. The purpose of a map is to tell a story.
So we used to like maybe putting in something on a map to figure out where we need to go. That's primarily how we use it, right? Navigationally. But there's so many other applications of how we use it. And the beauty of it is what they have done is they've been able to collect a lot of that and enhance a lot of that themselves.
We went in and we used Collect to collect information just to find out how flooding affects these people. We use OpenStreetMap platform to put the buildings that weren't clear on the map there. We added names, we mapped out some of the streets. You could check the map, use the key, and see the routes that we have done.
This is actually the main point of our project, identifying alternate routes that can be taken or that many persons would know. And let's say, for instance, one is going to the hospital. There are alternate routes that can be taken. And we have some key detours and safe passage points. For example, one could use Highway 2000 to bypass Central Maypen during major floods. So when that map is produced, we'll have all of those on it. We do have some short-term mitigation measures that can be taken during this time of the year. Regular maintenance and cleaning of the drains, upgrading the existing infrastructure, implementing stricter zoning laws, encouraging development in safer zone. And we could also have volunteer programs and training persons as well in emergency response and first aid.
So how do you see this project impacting your community, and what do you hope is a takeaway from what your group has done?
I want persons to be more aware of their surroundings, to learn about climate change, because based on climate change, you know, normally we would be having rains now and we're having rains. So I want them to learn a bit about climate change and the other alternate routes that we use to get out of.
taking into consideration that Maypen and Clarendon as a whole, we suffer immensely from flooding when we have torrential rain. And in light of the fact now that with global warming, we cannot discount the challenges that we're going to face. So it is a great opportunity for you to expand and to give more knowledge to persons who are from within the community, because at such time they will be able to use the knowledge that they would have gone and here today, of course, to save lives, and property.
I mean, I'm going to bring you in a little bit, right? So we were able to have students here today. So you had everybody from students in high school, different agencies. What were you hoping that everybody would get out of the conversation? And you heard all these, the stakeholders. But with your mayor right in front of you, what were you hoping that?
I am hoping to see projects put in place so that we could at least carry out some of the mitigating measures that we had come up with during our research. So for example, the plastic bottle receptacle, I'm hoping to see some of those. I'm hoping to see more timely response when it comes to cleaning the drains, understand? So I'm just trying to get the community on a whole, including stakeholders and commuters, everybody, just to come together so that we can create a better Maypen, a better Clarendon, and by extension,
Well, thank you so much. We thank you for having them join. And, again, this was a presentation by the Caribbean School of Data, and we thank our partner, Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, for working with us on this initiative.
Thank you.